In this video, I'm going to be showing you the paint bucket and the gradient tool in Photopea. So let's get into Photopea. So both of these tools are found here on the left-hand menu. So if you right-click, you can see the paint bucket tool and the gradient tool. We'll start with the paint bucket tool because it's a bit simpler. Essentially, all you need to do is select the paint bucket tool, as you can see I have there. Go to the color selection here and choose your color. And then you can simply left click and it will add that color to your background. Now if I wanted to do the same with the gradient tool, I would just right click here, go to gradient tool, and you now have quite a few options with the gradient tool as to how you want it to look. So I'm going to start with just a custom two-part gradient. And make sure that you do select your color on the left hand side here, because if you don't, then it might not work. So if I select my color like that, press OK, and I'm going to select a sort of lighter shade of blue there and click OK. So you can see those color selections have worked. And then what you need to do here is left click and drag. So you don't just click it like you do with the paint bucket tool. You need to drag it. And you can see that you can add a gradient. You can make it a smaller size, or you can do a gradient over a larger size. So just have a mess around and see how you like it to look. The other thing you can do is add a radial gradient. So this is over a circle shape rather than a linear, which is over a line. So there's some other options in here as well that you could try out. So diamonds, etc, etc. There are some custom made gradients that you can use as well. So if you use the down arrow here, you can maybe select the rainbow spectrum, and then I could add that to the background. That could look quite cool. And again, you could do that on a linear basis and add different kinds of gradient there. So it's just left click and drag for whatever your selection is. The other thing you can do is add it to a selection. So if I go back to the select tool here, I'm going to do a rectangle selection. So I'm going to select the center of my design here. And you can do this with the bucket fill as well, the paint bucket tool. But I'm also going to do it now with the gradient. So I'm going to go back to this custom gradient here, which is green and black. I can change the colors as well if I want to. So I'm going to go with bit more sip water kind of branding. I'm going to go with some blues and greens. You can see there I didn't select the so I've pressed OK, but my color hasn't been selected, so I need to go back into here and drag this to actually make a selection. And you can see it's come through, and then I'm going to left click and hold down, and you can see my gradient selection has appeared in the selection that I made. So that's how you do paint bucket fill and gradient colors in Photopea.